Hatchlings, it's Dragon Feather and welcome back to the channel, and on today's episode we have a very exciting video that is brought to you by the Hatchling clan and the Therian and Otherkin Amino. We basically wanted to address on how to discover your kintype since it is one of the most asked questions here on my Therian and Otherkin content, so I wanted to make a tutorial for you guys to try that includes all the different information you need to know about discovering your kintype, multiple kintypes, and an exercise even for you to try to learn what your kintype is. If you're new here to the channel, merry meet and welcome. I am Azura and I post enchanting, magical new videos every single week for you to enjoy. I am so excited to be back filming again. I finally feel better and I'm just really excited to jump back into making content for you guys, so I cannot wait. And without any further ado, let's just jump on into this. So to start off, let's discuss the kintype definition. What is a kintype? So I couldn't find a really good one online, so I decided to write my own. If you are a Therian or Otherkin and this definition does not resonate with you, please leave your definition of kintypes in the comment section below. I'd be very interested to see how they differ or how they're similar. But the definition that I have come up with for kintypes are: a kintype is a human with the identity or spirit of an animal, creature, or fictional character. Some believe they have the spirit of said being, while others may believe that on all levels except physical, they are the animal, creature, and/or character. So that's pretty much the basic gist of it, what a kintype is as a definition, and so today we're going to be seeing what your kintype is. So my kintype is dragon. I identify as dragonkin. Some people will identify as wolfkin or fairykin, or they may even identify as creatures that are found within a fictional universe. They also may identify with more common animals like maybe a house cat, a dog, a rat, things like that. Anything could be your kintype. If you feel like a kintype resonates with you, then please, please, please don't ignore that, you know? Like, write it down, think about it, and entertain the thought, you know what I mean, of being Otherkin or a Therian and having a kintype, because if it's truly who you are and you allow yourself to explore that, you'll learn so much more about yourself. So that's what this video is all about, since we want to make sure that you guys can discover your kintype since it's the most asked question. The whole first phase of discovering your kintype is questioning. If you are unsure about if you are Therian or Otherkin, or if you may have a kintype or multiple kintypes, then you're definitely questioning yourself and your existence. This may be really uncomfortable for you, especially if it's the first time that you've ever really consciously thought about something like this, or maybe you stumbled upon Therian and Otherkin videos or content or blogs or anything like that, and you just can't shake the thought from your mind. You want to find out as much information as you possibly can during this phase, and you want to take the time to question yourself. You want to really ask yourself what matters, and are my behaviors like a kintype, or are my behaviors just this way because of this? Am I having these dreams about being a creature because it's my kintype, or am I just simply dreaming? This is like the questioning phase, and honestly this phase can go on for a very long time. And it's important not to judge the speed at which you discover your kintypes. Some people will get it really fast, some people may take years. It's okay. Some people might be in their 50s just awakening that they have a kintype. So it really depends on the individual. So don't judge yourself based on others. It's all about your journey at the end of the day. So we want to focus on you and take it at a pace that's most comfortable for you. So don't feel rushed, and make sure that you really ask all your questions that you need to. For me, it took me about 3-ish years to fully accept that I was Otherkin, or Dragonkin specifically, but I kind of always knew I had some sort of inkling to that while I was growing up. So when I was very little, I had very much these types of behaviors, but as time went on, I kind of lost that, and then as I rediscovered my spirituality, they kind of came out again. So that's how I discovered my kintype, but it may be a different story for you, or it may be similar, you never know. Maybe questioning is not enough and researching is not enough to really understand or know for sure without the shadow of a doubt that you have a kintype. So there's many different methods that you can use to discover your kintype, and I'll be covering a few so you can try them, but you can always create your own, and you can always leave your favorites in the comment section below so others can try them as well, and maybe even I have never heard of them. So I'd love to know what you guys do or what you guys have done. Probably Probably the most common method to do so is via meditation. There are very different kinds of ways to meditate. You can do it sitting down, you can do it laying down, you can do it walking, you can do it conscious, you can do it kind of subconsciously, but meditation is one of the key ways that many practitioners come to the conclusion. Sit in some silence or sit with some nature music that maybe resonates with the kintype that you suspect you may have, to try and really dive deep into yourself and unlock those maybe hidden memories, past lives that you had, behaviors that you may experience. Maybe you can induce a shift. It really depends, but it's important to take some time to sit with yourself and focus on the possibility of having a kintype, or what a kintype really means to you, and just kind of visualizing that and letting yourself experience whatever comes. For me, I meditated many times for many hours before I really officially knew in my heart and soul that I was dragonkin. I denied it for quite a long time, and I wonder if even in my first video about Therians and Otherkin, I even said that I wasn't. So it's been kind of this gradual process for me, and meditation has been one of the most helpful things for me to do, and is one of the easiest ways for me to dive within myself and connect to myself. However, meditation may not be the easiest method for you, so maybe you can try one of the other ones. Second, a really great option for you can be divination. Now, there are many different ways that you can practice divination. Like, for example, the most common are probably going to be tarot, oracle cards, crystal ball gazing, or some sort of scrying and runes. These can be different methods for you to find if you are Otherkin or Therian. The ones that work the best for me is tarot and oracle cards. I draw a card to maybe see if I'm on the right path. I draw a card to maybe see what animal I have to work with to better understand myself, or what mythical creature, dragon, fae, whatever deck I'm using, and to get messages from my guardians and guides to see what they think, because of course they know you. Your guardians and guides, deities, spirits, whatever, they know your soul, they know who you are, they can see through any of your lies or facades, so it's really important to get in touch with them and to communicate with them, say, hey, I've been feeling this way, and like, what do you think about it? They may not answer you in words, but they'll give you a sense of feeling, or they'll give you a sign perhaps. It depends on who your guardians and guides are, depends on who you're working with, but relatively speaking, using divination, which is getting in touch with the divine, is a great way to connect with the divine within yourself and with the Otherkin/Therian part of you, or your kintypes to be more specific. This can help you unlock what type of kintype or kintypes that you have, and it is one of the ways that is more detailed in my experience when you use tarot and oracle. Scrying is a great way to like fall into a trance-like state, to put you in a meditative mindset without meditating per se. So it just helps you kind of open your mind to experiencing things, to seeing things, release yourself to your senses so you may become whole. That is another type that you can try, but maybe you're not really into divination, so what else is there? There are many other types of ways that you can get in touch with your kintype, but for the sake of this video, I have one more to share with you, and this is through the dreamscape. Many of you guys are questioning if you are Therian or Otherkin, or if you even have a kintype to begin with, because you have dreams or reoccurring dreams as a particular animal, creature, or being. You don't really know why, you don't really know what's happening, but this dream happens, or a dream where you're like this creature or animal or being is consistent. So for example, I have always in my lifetime had dreams about being a dragon, shifting into a dragon from human form to dragon form. And I've been this way when I was a little kid. I would always pretend that I was shifting into dragons. As kids, our imagination run wild. We're so connected to the earth, we're so connected to the natural magic of this world, so it's easy for us to tap into that. Where nowadays, looking back, I'm like, oh, I was more in tune with this part of myself because that's just naturally who I was. I was a fresh little being, you know, nothing was really implanted in my brain yet, no programs were really steadfast within my hardwiring, if you will, but basically, when you go into the dreamscape, if you experience these shifting experiences or experiences of maybe past life memories, maybe you are dreaming of a landscape that you used to belong to, or you feel like your heart and soul belongs to, these are various types of ways to get in touch with your kintype. Now, granted, this isn't for everyone. Not everybody dreams regularly. Not everybody has lucid dreams. Not everybody even remembers their dreams. It's okay. There's plenty of other things that you can do, but for those of you guys who do experience like shifting within your dreams, or dreams that relate to a potential kintype, this is really fascinating because the dreams dreamscape doesn't lie. In their subliminal messaging, we have these reoccurring dreams, and maybe they're trying to tell us something, and maybe your dreams are trying to tell you that you are indeed Therian or Otherkin. So don't worry about it if you can't dream, but if you can, maybe keep a dream journal, try and remember your dreams, try and induce lucid dreams if you can, however you can, and see where it takes you. It's a great way to get in touch with your kintype and are unforgettable when we do remember them, because it's one of the only very few places that we can truly feel physically like our kintype. So it's quite unforgettable, might I add. Something to consider if you are an avid dreamer like I am. Within the video, you probably heard me say your kintype or kintypes. Many people only have one kintype. Right now, I only have one kintype that I know of. Pretty sure I only have one kintype in general, and that's Draconic. However, some people have multiple kintypes. What this means is that they have maybe the kintype of a wolf and a dragon. To be less stereotypical, maybe they have the kintype of a beetle, or they have the kintype of a dragonfly, but they also have the kintype of a dove. They have multiple, and this is known as polykin. Many Therians and Otherkins are polykin, but it's very important to remember that not all of them are. Everybody's journey is different, and it's really important to remind yourself that at the end of the day, you need to do what's best and most comfortable with you, and anyone else's journey isn't really any of your business. Now, is it? So if you have nothing nice to say, keep your mouth shut and move on. But if you want to explore that part of yourself and maybe open your mind a little bit to see if this is a possibility in your reality, then it's a great thing to try. It's a great thing to discover. Maybe you have multiple kintypes. Maybe you've always felt like a hybrid of two different types of creatures, and maybe you're a kintype of both of them. You really don't know until you dive into it, and I really can't tell you the answers. All I can provide to you is some information about the topic and some ways to dig into it yourself. But at the end of the day, it's you who's gonna know the answer. It's you who's gonna find out the real truth behind it, and no one else can really do it for you. If you are a polykin, no worries. If you're not a polykin, it's cool. You don't have to be one or the other to be better or whatever than the other. We're all on our own paths and journeys, and we shouldn't compare ourselves to others because we're all unique individuals, and the only people we should be comparing ourselves to is who we were yesterday. And if you didn't have any kintypes yesterday, or you weren't aware of them, well, guess what? Now's the time to discover them. Okay, so let's go, guys. It's cool. Okay. I wanted to address a couple of misconceptions that I found that were common within the community surrounding kintypes in particular, and I have just a few to share with you because a lot of the misconceptions about Therian and Otherkin aren't so necessarily about kintypes specifically, but I did want to cover a few of them just so you know that they are misconceptions, and so if you hear anything about them, to kind of ignore it because it doesn't matter at the end of the day. So here are some of the misconceptions. Number one is dragons and wolves. A common misconception is that
why do Therians and Otherkin only have like epic and awesome kintypes like dragons and wolves? I don't understand. You never hear about like a beetle Otherkin, do you?
Well, the reality is that there's a huge community online that is present, but there's also a huge community that isn't really willing to share their experience. They don't really want to talk about it. They're private about it. It's personal to them, and is more than welcome to be. It's none of our business at the end of the day what someone else believes about themselves. If they choose to share it, that's on them. We don't really know whose kintype is what. And the dragonkin and the wolfkin who share their stories online, among with countless others who have quote-unquote awesome animals or awesome creatures as their kintypes, get a lot of shit, a lot of hate, and a lot of scrutiny. We get a lot of criticism, and it's really overwhelming. Not everybody is comfortable with sharing their journey, and if someone who maybe has the kintype of something smaller, like say a rat, then why would they share their experience if someone who has an even more awesome animal or a more known animal getting so much shit, why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they get made fun of even more? The whole point is to remember that we don't know everybody. We don't know all the Therians and Otherkin. Some of the Therians and Otherkin don't even know that they are what that is. It's just important to keep an open mind about what people's identities are and be respectful to how people choose to live their lives. It's really unfortunate that there's so much controversy when it comes to Therian and Otherkin, because a lot of people have a lot of opinions, but at the end of the day, no one can change who you are. And if you happen to have the kintype of a banana slug, do not let anyone make you feel like you are any less than fucking awesome. Moving on. Another common misconception is that you can only have one kin type. We discussed polykin a little bit earlier, but basically a lot of people, even within the Therian and Otherkin community, believe that you can only have one kin type. And even those who believe you can have multiple kin types may even say that you can only have a certain amount. It's kind of bullshit, because the truth is that only you can decide how many kin types you have. Only you can discover that information. I cannot create you for you. I cannot discover you. I cannot know you. You have to know yourself, and only you will know yourself on all levels. Only you will know yourself as intimately as you do, because you're the one within the being. You don't have that access to anyone else but yourself. So to say that someone else can't be a certain way is absurd in my mind. I think it's absolutely not our place. You know what I'm saying? As long as it's not hurting anyone else, who gives a fuck? If anything, it makes the world more interesting. It makes us different and have different perspectives and things to share and lessons to learn from each other. So that's something that I think is really important to never forget when it comes to Therian and Otherkin, is that you can have as many kin types as you want at the end of the day, or as many kin types as you are. Only you can discover them, but it's not okay to limit people, put them in a box, or point a finger and laugh just because they only identify with one kin type, or point a finger and laugh because they identify with multiple kin types. It's about respect. You know, you don't really have proof to disprove it or prove that it exists, so it's very subjective. And for those who take the journey, for those who partake and walk the path, who have these identities, it's just important to be respectful and to keep an open mind, and to first and foremost hear someone's story from them rather than deciding what it is for them before you even know them. The last misconception I have for you guys that I'm going to debunk is that kin types are physical. Now this is very inaccurate. I am physically, genetically, on a physical, anatomical level, I am a human being. I am very aware of that, and I do not try and like pretend that I'm not. Well, of course I do. Of course I try to pretend that I'm not. I don't like being in a human body. It feels very limiting to me. I feel very landlocked because I cannot fly. But at the end of the day, I'm grounded in the cold, hard facts that I am a human, and a lot of people think that kin types are physical. A lot of people think that they can physically shift into another animal or creature. While this is awesome in theory, and we could even trick our brains with the placebo effect or just the pure raw willpower of believing in something, this also can happen if we're under the influence of substances like alcohol, cannabis, or psychedelics. This can really influence how we perceive ourselves, but at the end of the day, it's all an illusion or a hallucination, and you can't change your physical being. This is a huge misconception about kin types, that they're physical, because they are not physical. Kin types are not physical, and I'm sorry if that offends you. I'm just being honest about the science behind this, because when it comes to the stuff like dreaming and feeling and emotional stuff, that stuff is a little bit more into the metaphysical realm, where the cold hard facts of my body, I got some human hands, okay? I got a human face, alright? I shit human poops. That's the way it works. And as much as I wish I could be a dragon every day of my life, I just physically am not. And so that's something really important to remember as a Therian or Otherkin, is that you cannot physically shift, nor will you be able to physically shift until we can figure out the technology to make that a reality, and even then, good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Alright, so I'm going to briefly go over the exercise you can try to discover your kin types now that we have learned about questioning yourself, methods to discover it, what kin types even are, some misconceptions, and just some extra tidbits. Now that we know all of the juice, we want to try it for ourselves. So for this exercise, if you want to know the full step-by-step instructional guide, that will be available for you in the link down below within the Hatchling clan Amino or the Therian and Otherkin Amino. You can go ahead and find all the information for this, but I'm going to briefly walk you through it because it's going to be just like a basic kind of exercise for you to do to try and discover your kin type if you have one, and can be done multiple times to revisit the theory or the discovery or the idea that you have a kin type. It's going to be a little bit of a meditation. This is because it requires no materials. All you need is yourself and a space that you'll be comfortable, and you're going to start by grounding yourself. You're going to sit crisscross applesauce, hands in your lap, or however you're most comfortable, and let all the negative energy soak and seep out of you into the earth. And once you feel all of that draining out of you, anything that you no longer need from today's bullshit, from the drama of yesterday, let that sink into the earth, let her neutralize it for you, and then with each breath in, breathe in that good golden energy. It's full of love and light and healing for you, and this is Mother Earth's gift to you. So this is how we're going to start our meditation, by opening ourselves to the energy of Mother Earth. Next, we'll be using our breathing as a gateway into different forms of consciousness. You can also do this to access different realms and realities. So you might want to do deep breaths like really exaggerated. Maybe that doesn't work for you, but the point is we want to get your blood and your body oxygenated, and the fastest way to do that is by doing the breath of fire, which is this. Kind of annoying, but if you do it for like a minute, you will feel a high of oxygen, literally high on life, my dude. And it helps you awaken yourself. It helps you get into that zone to be more open to the energies of the earth and to be a little bit more receptive to the exercise at hand. Close your eyes when you are ready if you haven't already done so, and we will be doing a visualization. Go ahead and let your mind wander. Where do you find yourself? You know what I'm saying? Are you in the ocean? Are you in a forest? Are you in a volcano? Where do you exist? And what do you hear? What do you smell? How do you feel? Do you have skin? Do you have fur? Do you have scales? What is going on? You know, how do you see things? Does the world look different from your eyes this way? And really just start letting yourself go. Whatever thoughts come and go, don't worry about it. Try not to focus on them and just let them pass through like fish swimming while you're snorkeling. And that's all that really matters, like clouds passing by while you're gazing at the sky. We want to make sure that we're open, our minds are open, and we're visualizing as best we can within our mind's eye. Once you get to a place where you're relaxed and you're kind of in a trance-like state, we're going to do some soul searching. And this is the main point of this exercise. You're going to ask yourself, hey, what's my kintype? Do I have a kintype? How do I feel about having a kintype? Do I have behaviors that come from a kintype? These kinds of questions are the ones you can ask yourself during this time. And really the most important thing is to ask yourself the questions that you feel guided to ask yourself. This doesn't mean asking the questions that I've written down for you or the ones that I say in the video. It simply means to let your intuition guide you and guide this process to get to know yourself a little better. And your brain wants to answer things, so the more questions you ask yourself, the more answers you may find. However, you may not find it right away, and that's okay. You can come back to this exercise whenever you want, or you can choose a different one if that works better for you. After you've done that, maybe you've gotten some answers, maybe you still have some unanswered questions, but it's time to ground yourself. So all the energy you raised and borrowed from Mother Earth, go ahead and return that back to her for her to neutralize it and to ground yourself to where you're not as high off the energy and you're more grounded and centered within your own being, so you don't get dizzy or get headaches or you don't feel a little weird when you're done. This is just to kind of like ground yourself, you know. It's really important. Earthing, man, it's necessary. After you've grounded yourself out, open your eyes when you're ready, and it's really important to document your experience. So go ahead and write down anything that you experienced, any highlights that are worth noting, any answers that you got from the questions you asked, and if you feel any closer to the truth of who you are. And this is really important because you can look back for later reference, and you can also see how you progress through the years if you do choose to practice this. If not, it's good to look back and just have those experiences written down after they were done, so it's like the freshest information possible and it doesn't fade with time. So that is pretty much the exercise and all I have for you in this video. If you want to learn more about this topic and how to discover your kintype, you can find my post within the Hatchling clan and the Therian and Otherkin Amino, which will be linked down below for you. And don't forget to go join the Therian and Otherkin Amino and the Hatchling clan if you haven't already. I'm really excited to work with the Therian and Otherkin Amino. Honestly, I have not found a more welcoming, positive, loving community for Therians and Otherkin, which seems to be so rare these days. So I really wanted to share it with you guys, and I really wanted to encourage you guys to join this community because it is specifically for Therians and Otherkin, and you can find so many people like you. You can chat with fellow friends and just kind of explore that possibility for yourself or the reality that you live. And I'm over there too. I love hanging out there and chatting with people and getting to know more people who are like me. It really is humbling and honestly makes me not feel so alone. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you guys in the Therian and Otherkin Amino or in the Therian and Otherkin chats within the Hatchling clan. And please leave any questions or comments you have down below and let me know, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But thank you so much for spending some of your day with me today. I really hope that this video helped you discover what your kintype is, or if not, learn a little bit more about what it even is, because there's not a lot of good information on the internet. I'm sorry, but hey, I will help you. I hope that this video made your day, as I really enjoyed making this video. So much love to you always, but until next time, stay geeky, cheeky, and freaky, little hatchlings. But blessed be, and bye.